Welcome to the Wake Up Dad Show. This is episode number 1.
Are you confused and overwhelmed about your role in all the craziness that is being a dad? Are you struggling to create the life you hope for? Are you looking for other dads to share your struggles and your triumphs? Or do you just need help waking up in the morning? Join your host, Dr. Scott Vatcher, as he explores the amazing and sometimes crazy world of being a dad. This is the Wake Up Dad Show.
Hello and welcome to the Wake Up Dad Show first podcast. Numero uno, number 1. I'm really excited to get this podcast started. This has been in the making for me for a long time. My name is Scott Vatcher and I'll be your host for this show leading forwards. I want to start out by just giving you a little bit of an idea about who I am, where I came from, why I started this podcast, the flow of the podcast in future episodes, some things that I want you to do to help me out. So, let's start out with, first of all, who I am. As I've said, my name is Scott, and I'm a dad, first and foremost, when it comes to this show. So, I would like to give you my background. I'm originally Canadian, but I now live in Australia, and I've been here for the last 14 years. I was born and raised in a place called St. John's, Newfoundland. And it's not a place a lot of people know of, and it's definitely not a place a lot of people have been to. So it's on the east coast of Canada, and I grew up there, and I had a great childhood and loved every minute of it, really. Had a great time growing up and ended up going to university there in Newfoundland and completed my honors degree in biochemistry. First of all, planning to become a medical doctor, and through a series of events that occurred, which I might share with you at some other point in the future, basically decided that wasn't for me, and ended up changing my whole career path and moving to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and went and completed my chiropractic degree there and became a chiropractor. And I've been a chiropractor for the last 15 years. When I graduated, I moved to Australia pretty much straight away. Never practiced in Canada at all. And came here, did some what's called locuming, so traveling around Australia. I was only going to stay for a year, but as you know, life happens, things occur that you don't expect, and 15 years later, I'm still here in Australia, have a great successful practice here, and just really loving life at the moment. So I've got a 6-year-old daughter. Her name is Aurora, and we call her Rory, and she's brilliant. She's got a big, strong mind of her own and is very challenging at times, as most dads out there will probably agree to some description or another that times can be challenging. So why I created this podcast is, first of all, I'll be the first to admit that I don't think I'll ever win Dad of the Year. So this podcast is not about me thinking that I'm the best dad out there and I can teach you guys all something. By no stretch of any imagination is that the case. I created this podcast because I think there's a real lack in this type of forum for dads to get together to talk about the challenges, the triumphs, the wins, the defeats of being a dad. And I call it the 5 P's of dadhood. So we're going to talk about that significantly in this podcast. And how it's going to work with the flow of the podcast is that I'm going to be releasing 3 episodes per week. So that's going to be on a Monday, a Tuesday, and a Thursday. One of those episodes, or this is the way I think it will happen, but it will develop as we go forward. One of those episodes will be an interview that I have with somebody who's possibly got a specialty in one of those 5 P's that I'm going to get to in just a minute. And then 2 of the other episodes is really going to be like this. It's going to be me having a chat with you and getting across some of my perspectives and viewpoints on the 5 P's. So let's talk about those now. So P number 1 is purpose. And so when I say purpose, basically it means your legacy. So think about the reason why you're here, the reason why, what you want to leave behind, or what I consider to be what's called your legacy. So that's the big why, basically. The second P in the 5 Ps of dadhood is power. When I say power, basically what I mean is your health. Reaching your optimal health, and that can incorporate things like your diet, your exercise, your nutrition, your supplementation, your structure, your posture. As a chiropractor, I deal a lot with that type of situation, and your mindset. The third P of dadhood is parenting, becoming the best version of ourselves for our kids and our partners, if there are partners involved. Providing. Now, for providing, what I'm talking about here is taking care of our family, to being a role model, but also that stereotypical role of the dad being the major breadwinner for the family. And I know that's not always the case, and it's changing more and more in today's world, but I think generally speaking, the dad is typically the major provider for the family. So that might go into business, entrepreneurial situations, or how to, just make the best out of the money that you're making if you're in a job where it's a set amount of money. And the last one is passion, and that's in our relationships. So basically, if there's a partner involved, then your relationship with them. If there's not, then your relationship with yourself, and how to get passionate about where you're at as far as your life and how to get the best out of it. So what I want to have a chat about, really, as these episodes go forward, is the struggles, the challenges, the wins, the defeats, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs of all that it is to be a dad. I use the term dadhood just because fatherhood sounds too proper for me. As you'll notice as we move forward with this, if this is something of interest to you and you continue to listen to the podcast as time goes on, is that I think I'll get more and more comfortable with my interview style, and much more comfortable with this monologue style of me talking to you, that things will get probably more and more informal. And I would appreciate feedback in many, many different ways and descriptions to let me know if you like what you're hearing, you like what's going on, or if you don't as well, because that's the only way that I can create change to help the situation. So some things that I would like you to do is to obviously listen if it's of interest to you. If it's not, and I think this goes without saying, it probably will just naturally happen. If this is not something you're interested in, if you don't want to create more out of life in the 5 Ps of dadhood, then don't listen and don't share this. But if you do want to, then I really urge you to share this podcast with other dads. Let's get this message out there. There's not much out there right now. I actually looked into it and looked for other podcasts around dadhood, and really most of them are all around comedy or sports. And we all love, I think I'll speak for myself, I love comedy, and I love sports. So yes, I can see how those podcasts can do well when it comes to the dad market, so to speak. But there was absolutely no podcasts out there that really dove deep into being a dad and how to fulfill the 5 Ps to really get the most out of life when it comes to your big purpose, your health, how to be a better parent, how to provide the best for your family, and to create better passion in your relationships. So share this with other dads. Go to iTunes. Help me reach other dads by subscribing to the podcast and by leaving a review. Now, what those do basically is they help me get the word out to more people, because I get a higher rating, and therefore when people are looking for podcasts, they can see mine more than others. And that's plain and simple. Check out the website, www.thewakeupdadshow.com. Check out the Facebook page called Wake Up Dad. go to my YouTube channel called Dr. Scott Vatcher and have a look around. If you have any questions, email me at drscott@thewakeupdadshow.com, or you can get in touch with me via Facebook, via YouTube, all those usual channels. So I'm out there in all these different social media situations. So if you have a look there, I'm sure it won't be too difficult to find me. So guys, I really, really hope that you enjoy the show. Basically, this is about us helping each other to explore the world of being a better dad. Because in the end, I think in reality, we do the best with what we know at the time. But if we can grow together and be better dads, better lovers, better partners, better business people, and have outrageous health at the same time, all while having fun doing it, then that sounds pretty good to me. So I hope you enjoy the show. Get in touch with me and stay tuned for the next episode.
Do you want to know more about the Wake Up Dad movement? Go to www.thewakeupdadshow.com to download any and all past issues of the show, claim your free gift, or to directly ask Dr. Scott any questions you have. Continue the conversation on the Facebook group Wake Up Dad. Share this podcast with other dads on iTunes or Google Play. Make sure to subscribe to the show and give us a rating so we can reach more dads. And dads, one last thing. Wake up!